What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda. Amanda, it's mock draft season. Are you excited?
I am. I'm intrigued to see how some of this plays out. We've got a lot of big names being tossed around, some back and forth about who's going where. So I'm intrigued to see how everything comes down to it.
Yeah, it's the best time of year. We got AAA. Abe coming on the show. Abe, you were at the combine. How are you feeling? The draft time of year. You got the 25-year anniversary from when you guys all got drafted behind you, right?
I bought four of my friends. About four of my friends from 25 years ago. You have Sean Ellis, John Abraham, Chad Pennington, and Anthony Beck.
Hell
25
yeah.
years, four first round picks for New York Jets. So I don't really give a shit about who's drafted this year because I'm thinking about myself. It's 25-year anniversary. Think about like this is going to be such an amazing year for me because my daughter turns one this year. I'm graduating college. My birthday's coming
Hell
up, everything, and then we got the 25 year of this. So this year is like kind of cool, and it's 1 year away. Well, damn, we almost at 30 years from me being out of high school. Next year will be 30 years out of high school.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, old man swag.
Hell yeah. Well, that's awesome. And you know, draft season, you were just at the combine, John. Me and Amanda were planning on going. Plans fell through on that one, but you were there. What did you think getting to see the, potential rookies up close?
First of all, I got to thank Perlman, and I got to thank John Randall. All the guys there were so accommodating. I mean, TD, Thomas Davis. It was just like for me, it was more of like I haven't been to the combine. I haven't been in the Indianapolis for that in 25 years. So
Wow.
for me, it was just like, wow, I'm back. And it was just like how different it was and how more experienced the players are. When it comes to the turf, when it comes to how advanced Indy has really grown, and they say I know they're gonna move it to somewhere else, but Indy has
I
it
hope
down. I
not.
mean, when it comes to when
Yeah.
it comes to restaurants, when it comes to being able to access things, when it comes to the people at the hotel, I mean, everything was just top tier. They have a train that people can stay in if they want to, like right in the building. It's magnificent. I don't know where they're gonna go to make it better, but I think if they have a consistency there, I think it should let it there. But the guys there, like, I didn't really see no big headed guys. I heard a lot about some guys, and some guys are like this, some guys are like that. Most of the guys were pretty humble. Most of the guys took what I said, and they used it. A lot of guys came and asked questions. And like I said, for me, it was just good. Like even running into Chad there, I haven't seen Chad in a while. I got to see
Yeah.
him. I got to give him a great big hug. They're like, 25 years, bro. All that little
Like a
calm
little
stuff.
reunion.
Yeah, all the
Awesome.
little fake emphasis. I got to meet the Williams guy from Georgia, big guy, big guy.
Yeah.
These guys are fit. Like when I came out, a couple of us took our shirt off. We might have had a little gut. We trying to put on a little weight. People didn't want to take their shirt. These guys are jacked. Like all these guys are slim. And you think about the defensive ends now compared to when I came out, the 270, 280 pounds defensive end, people want to play the run and also play the pass. You have guys like me coming out. Like people being 235, 245, 250 are not tweeners anymore. Those guys are
Yeah.
pass rushers, with Michael Parsons, and you got the edge, Abdul Carter. You got these guys, all these guys are just slender guys. They want these guys running 4.4 to 4.5, 4.6 at the max. So for
Yeah.
me, it was just like a new awakening because I remember they was like, John, you got to gain weight, you got to get this, you got to do this, you got to be strong as this. They ain't worrying about your strength. They worrying about how you perform on the field and how they perform the drills. And I'm saying these guys were doing some explosive jumps, some explosive times. So for me, it was enlightening. It was very enlightening, and it made me feel like I was back in the game or something. I hit you up and told you I was done. Hey, me and the man might come up. Now we're in the come. Yeah, sir.
Hey,
We were
hey.
Right
trying.
up
Stuff,
the street.
stuff
We right
happens,
up the freaking
man.
street.
Cut
We'll
some
be there
slack.
next year
Yeah. And I
for
will
sure.
say, I do think like the age of social media and stuff has really like kind of helped players advance in this way. Like they can see what their competition is doing. Like sports like health, nutrition and stuff, it has come so far. Like back in the day, it was, eggs and chicken and like that was your go-to for like protein and stuff. There's so many other options and so many things that have been tested and proven in the past, 2.5 decades since you were there. I think that a lot of it has really advanced and these players just have so much more information available to them and the communication is so much faster. So I'm excited to kind of watch this trend towards the size and like the build of these players shifting into different positions versus what we were used to historically.
Yeah, and we're seeing that, case in point with the defending champs, the Eagles, who are just, size and elite athleticism and getting after Patrick Mahomes. And yeah, I got to witness the combine last year for my first time ever and got to see Xavier Worthy break the 40 record, and it is a great time. I highly recommend it. If you haven't been to the combine, it's a must watch, must attend event, a lot of fun, and we'll be there next year and can't wait. But a great, very successful year. And so let's get into this is going to be our mock draft 2.0 episode. This is my mock, and we'll get Amanda and Abe's reactions to my picks. And we're going to start this off. Pick one, the Tennessee Titans. There's a lot of talk about, best player available, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, the number one wide receiver, number one corner, can do both. To me, I think you have to go quarterback if you're the Titans. Cam Ward is the best quarterback at this moment. He's got a high upside. And Will Levis was just so bad, Amanda. He was a turnover machine last year. You can't run it back with Will Levis, can you? I think you got to go quarterback.
So my concept for this team is take one of the quarterbacks who proved themselves as a serviceable quarterback last year in the
Mhm.
NFL, bring him in, trade away, second or third round pick, and then go for best available here. I liked Sam Darnold in Tennessee. That was my
Yeah.
theory coming into this offseason. I think, Minnesota had to kind of branch over the year with JJ McCarthy's injury. I don't think he was a first year start anyway, so they needed him there for that. Sam Darnold did what he needed to do with the team, but he needs an option somewhere else. I think he needs to be paid and he needs to be somewhere where he can be a full-time starter and not have to fight for that job. And I mean, Will Levis, the only good thing we saw out of him was memes all season.
Yeah.
Like he was entertaining, but you don't want that guy as your starter. So I mean, I do think they need to address the quarterback position. I'm not sure if drafting a rookie is their best bet.
Yeah. What do you think, Abe? I mean, would you rather go veteran quarterback and a rookie or veteran quarterback and Will Levis? How would you do it? I mean, Abdul Carter, you can do, he's a monster. So you plug him in with Jeffrey Simmons and those guys, your defense is going to be ready to go.
I don't even think it's an option. This is why I hate and love Amanda, because I want to say it first. I'm like, go get an older quarterback and see if you can get somebody to create Levis. I mean, I know he played terrible, but a lot of times you see how these guys are sitting for a few years, and
Mhm.
then like
Yeah.
next thing you know, okay, go get Darnold, play him for 3 or 4 years. Okay, win or lose. But if you got somebody that's going to be an elite, you're thinking that a sure pick, and you see a lot of people are taking these defensive ends that can play for 5, 6, 7 years, and you can see if they're good or not. Like the first year, they might have 4 sacks. Next year, might have 10. So I would take me personally, I would take an end. Like I know I'm a pass rusher, so I'm a little,
Yeah, of course you're gonna
but
say that.
and I'm not saying I don't like Cam Ward. It's just something about his body just don't look right to me. I told you he just don't look right in his outfit to me. I'm not saying he's not a smart quarterback. I'm not saying that he's not capable of taking that team to where they want to go. But it's Tennessee. Tennessee
Yeah.
needs a nice running back. They need maybe they can get a better running back in the second round and then build from that. But I think Tennessee need to become a running team again. I think we need to see them like you got rid of Derrick Henry. Let's bring somebody else in to get
Yeah,
a good
somebody.
running game, and let's
Yeah.
work that, and let's let Levis like still try to, let him grow a little more. And Amanda hit it dead on the head. Let's find one of these old guys. I would get Aaron Rodgers just to be like, hey, and I know it sounds bad, but I'm saying get a guy that can kind of show him how to be a pro. Aaron is kind of laid back now. Levis seems he's a little laid back, but also, Aaron is going to push you. If you got an older Aaron Rodgers in front of you and you're Levis, you're going to start looking bigger. You're going to
Mhm.
start looking bigger in your mind. You're going to start to see how he, I guess how he's able to talk to the team, how he's able to talk to his line. You're going to see the different
Yeah.
things. You're going to see how to be a leader compared to being on these commercials, doing splits and all kind of weird
And
stuff.
I
Like
don't
that's what I'm
think
saying. It's all that.
I don't think Levis has the respect of that team
No,
as a
no,
leader. I think
not at
having
all.
someone there who can show him that and kind of light a fire under his ass, I think that's a great idea as well.
To that point, that defense was already pretty good last year. That was with L'Jarius Sneed hurt. You get him back healthy, you plug Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter on that defense, and
Mhm.
they are, top five at least, if not one of the best defenses in football. So that's not a bad approach. Get a veteran quarterback. There's a lot of veteran quarterback options: Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, etc. So then for me, I had Abdul Carter going number 2 to the Browns. And to me, this made a lot of sense because of the Myles Garrett trade request. Abe, do you think the Browns, they're saying they're not going to trade him. How do you think the Browns handle the Myles Garrett situation? And could you potentially team Abdul Carter up with Myles Garrett? Or is he the Myles Garrett replacement? How do you see that?
Okay, Cam Ward is perfect here.
Yeah.
Let Cam Ward go there and let him cook. Like
Mhm.
let him find his job there. Adele, you take your ass to Tennessee. Take Cam at number 2. I mean, I like Shador, but I don't think Tennessee is the market for him.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? I
No,
understand that
yeah, I
I
agree.
understand he went to Jackson State, but then they went to Colorado and they changed it. I think they want him in a big time city. I think his father wants that. I think the people. I don't think he will be a great quarterback in a small city. I think he needs the nightlife, and I'm not saying he go to the club and stuff. I
I
think he just
agree with
needs.
you so much.
I think
Yeah.
he. I think he needs the people to feed him. Okay, if you kind of see like, and I'm not talking about John Morant, but you see how John Morant is. Like he's always out in Tennessee. He's like, but he trying to get a bad boy image.
Mhm.
Shador is not a bad boy. He likes
Yeah.
to party. He likes to be in the studio making music. He likes the stuff to keep him interested. If he's in Tennessee, it's not going to be a lot. And I know it's bad when you think about it, but it's being realistic.
I think he
Plus,
feeds off the energy. He gives me like extreme extrovert vibes. He needs the energy. He needs
yeah.
just the tension, the vibes. And I agree with you there. I don't think a small town's a good fit for him. I think he needs to be in one of the big cities with, the music happening, like the music scene, the lights, the flash. Like he's got too much pizzazz to go to Tennessee.
Right.
Do you agree, Amanda? Do you think Cam Ward would be a good fit in Cleveland? They obviously need to figure out the quarterback situation, Deshaun Watson, that whole thing, and then he's expected to miss the entire season with injury anyways.
He's an improvement of their current situation. I just think they're not doing well with their defensive end situation year after year. I mean, Zadarius Smith, that was a weird thing. They traded him away.
Right.
Myles Garrett requesting a trade. Like, I think that there's a systematic issue in that team, and I don't think a quarterback is going to be the Band-Aid to fix it. But yeah, I don't know what
You
to do with
gotta
that.
have somebody. Yeah, and
Yeah. I think Cam Ward would help them. But I don't that team needs so many different things that I want to see them get some extra draft picks coming into this. I want them to trade away some current players and get more picks because they need 5 or 6 solid players in order to do something with that current team that they have.
yeah, I agree with that. And then to that point, Abe, I got Shador Sanders going number 3 overall to the New York Giants. They need a quarterback. We talk about the big city lights of New York City would be perfect. You got Brian Dable, who is a quarterback developer. He developed Josh Allen, so it'd be a good situation for Shador Sanders with Malik Neighbors and those guys. Or if he doesn't go there, potentially falls to number 6 to the Vegas Raiders. I don't see Shador falling further than 6. Where do you see him going, Abe? 3 or 6? 3 of the Giants?
How about I give
The
uh
Jets? Jets?
I personally feel like, and this is not a racist pun or anything, but him having a black head coach, him having somebody he can relate to, Jackson
Yeah.
State, his father can talk straight to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn played DB.
Yeah.
The games were almost modeled like each other. Having someone that can, like Dion, can automatically talk to about his son, tell him what my son needs, tell him where we can go. Having that good young, like only thing was wrong with Aaron, he was trying to be young. They have a young team. You bring Shador in there, it's like boom. Okay,
Yeah.
he
He
just
can
fit
speak their language.
everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody, they can joke around, they can make plays. He can be that L. He can be that L or that dog or whatever they want to put on his chest. He can be that leader. He can do all that at that team because that team is young enough that he's not too far away from there. So they can set a team up because they got rid of 17, so they good with that. So everybody's young, and then later in the draft, you might can draft another good receiver in the second round and build from him in the Jets. For the Giants, just get Aaron Rodgers just to slide over. He already got a house there in New York. Get Aaron. Like I think he'll fit there, or Sam Donald. I think they need to get an older thing because their team is the team is so erratic. They need a quarterback that can get the ball out quick. Shador Sanders, his whole career has had terrible lines.
Yeah.
The Giants are literally the worst line. Nobody can play behind that line really. And so if you're going to get Shador at 3 just because he want to go high, it can make sense to everyone. But his rookie year is going to be trash. I'm just
Yeah.
being real.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even if you have a great receiver, you need a little more. The defense is decent in Giants, and I think they need to up probably the middle line a little more. But they ain't getting no D tackle. I didn't see no D tackle this year that really shoots out with me like that.
So Amanda, weigh those two options: Shador Sanders with the Giants, or you could go Travis Hunter, and then you've got Malik Neighbors and Travis Hunter, which is a
I
hell of
like
a one
I
too.
like Travis Hunter with the Giants. I think that's fantastic. And
Yeah.
I do kind of like Abe's concept here with Shador going to the Jets. Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilks first draft together. I can see them doing something flashy,
Yeah.
especially with, I mean, look at that wide receiver room. Devonta Adams is out. Alan Lazard is on the trade block from what I've
Yeah.
seen.
He's leaving. Yeah.
So we've got what Tyler Conklin, like we need some young fresh blood. They're going to be drafting some young receivers. I think it would be a great like kind of rebuild, get the young team together with a couple of rookies and kind of start building with, the head coach, the DC, like everyone's new there. They're turning a fresh leaf. I really like that idea. I think John has a great concept there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Aaron, and AG was a flashy player.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
AG know how to talk to him. AG understands, but like I said, AG and his father were almost the same, identical player, just a smaller version. So I feel like he can still have that connection. He still can call like, yeah, Dion can give him a call. Yeah, my son doing this. All right, you need me to fly in? I'm flying in. Okay, you say he doing this. All right, I'll be right there. I think it'll have that a better communication. Like people don't understand how relationships go way further sometimes when it comes to the draft. Even though you want to be drafted higher, but you don't want to be drafted and go to a team that's not comfortable for you.
So, Abe,
Is
do you
he?
think there's a chance the Jets get a quarterback before the draft, that they go after one of those veterans, not an old man veteran like Rodgers was, because they've tried that experiment, but do you think there's a chance that they, bring in someone else who might be available and then address the wide receiver situation in the first round?
I really wish they go for the quarterback. I think if you, being a new head coach, if you look at Raheem Morris' sketch, look at what Raheem Morris did. He went and got the guy he wanted.
Mhm.
He went and got a young guy. So I'm like, this is my first year as coach. We can get this older guy first. We're gonna get him. But it was like, you're gonna pay him this money, and then why you got him? Now you see why. So why not Aaron Glenn? This is my new regime. So y'all gonna give me 3 years at least. Because if you're gonna give me a brand new young quarterback, let me build around
Yeah.
him for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, the first year might be like this. Da, da, da. We're gonna get Sauce paid. We can chill for a little while. The defense is pretty much intact. They got rid of Reed, but Reed was kind of here or there. It wasn't a big loss. So why not? Like why not? And give these young guys somebody that they can lead. Let's see if Shador can talk to those guys. You trying to put them in an older team like the Giants with some. You got a young receiver, then all the other receivers are pretty much a little older. So they might not look at Shador like that. Shador come in a little flashy, it might kind of bother them. They're in the same regime. Like if you watch, look how the Jets dress. Look how they have chains on. Like the DBs have chains on. Sauce has a chain during the game. People have their chains on. They flashy, but they also are confident. And I think Aaron Glenn has that confidence to be able to talk to him back and forth.
Looking at the
The
amount of swag that team has with Aaron Rodgers on the team was so awkward. Like the contrast, I'm like, oh, Aaron, you're so white. Like, oh Lord.
the issue I'm running into here though is that is Shador gonna fall to 7? Are the Jets gonna have to trade up if that's the guy they want? Because we talk about fit, and fit is ideal. It's a great fit. It's a good point. but the Vegas Raiders, and you got the connection, are very quarterback needy, and you got the Tom Brady connection to Shedeur Sanders, the big city. That just seems like a natural fit. The Giants need a quarterback, the Browns need a quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. So, would you be willing to trade up, or are you going to be patient and hope that he falls to 7?
I think they
I
trade
think
up
that.
for him.
Oh, go ahead.
Move
I could
up?
just see him trading up and their first draft together,
Yeah.
fresh
Be
coach,
aggressive.
be aggressive, go after what you want, get your guy, and then start building with him.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Um, for the Patriots at 4, that's where I have Travis Hunter going. I think, they need a wide receiver desperately. After missing out on Ladd McConkey last year, they drafted Jalen Polk and Javon Baker and got hardly anything out of them.
Yeah.
You need a receiver for Drake May. Plus, you can, have Travis Hunter play some corner. Then you got Christian Gonzalez and Travis Hunter at corner. He's one of Abe. How do you see Travis Hunter? Is he going to be able to play both sides of the ball in the NFL?
Absolutely, and I think the Patriots are the perfect team for him. I think Mike Vrabel will. He's the one that willing to take risks, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
think. I think he knows for a fact. Look, you want to play a little receiver, we'll let you play receiver, but you want you at DB. No, we got Gonzalez on one side, we got you on one side.
Yeah.
Like we don't care about you returning kicks and none of that. We don't care about you doing that. But I think if we need you at a receiver, we can put you in there, and I think he will let him develop into what kind of player he wants, whether he's an explosive receiver or whether he's going to be a lockdown corner. I think he
Yeah.
will. I think Mike Vrabel is the perfect guy to fit for him. I don't think Mike Vrabel could work for anybody else really in this
Yeah.
top 5, but I think
Yeah.
Travis can be the guy because Travis is a homebody. He doesn't do much. You go in New England, that's perfect. If you don't do
Yeah.
nothing but play the game and talk to your girlfriend, New England is the perfect spot for you. like there's nothing else you can say. So I think that's the perfect fit for them. I think he'll fit right into it because he's a flashy guy, but he's also a consistent guy. He's a hard worker, and I think Mike Vrabel will bring the best out of him. He'll put him in the perfect situation to be, to show his skills and what we want to see.
It's crazy, Amanda. We've never seen anyone like Travis Hunter.
No,
I
I
mean,
like him. I mean, we've got our Swiss Army knife who we've seen, but Travis Hunter is just so athletic. Like
yeah.
he's so good. The only thing I have in my notes for the Patriots are just tackle. Their tackle
Yeah.
situation was so bad. I mean, dead last in pass block win rate for the second year in a row. Like you have to address that and fill that hole. Like it's bad. I mean, they drafted Caden Wallace last year, offensive
Yeah.
tackle. I mean, he was on IR for like 12 weeks of the season. Like there he did nothing for him. So I think they really need to address that spot. But they've got quite a few high round picks though.
Some of the issues that I'm running into is a lot of the top tackles in this draft might be better off as guards at the NFL level. So it's hard to project that. Like, who is it? Will Campbell is the number one guy, but his arms are short.
Yeah, he
They're
doesn't play
projecting
like a
him.
tackle.
Yeah, they're projecting him inside, and they say he can be an all-pro guard for over a decade, but he might not be that
Just because his
tackle.
arms.
Mhm.
Yeah, T-Rex arms.
Go
And
T-Rex.
how big as a one of the best pass rushers in NFL history, Abe? Do you think arm size and that fit tackle versus guard is a big deal for these offensive linemen?
I think it is, but also I feel like it's the production you've done, and like if you see the production he did and how he played in college, give him an opportunity to at least be a tackle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if it falters, move him in like Bergeron. Like if you want a Bergeron type tackle, got good feet. He can move around, but just because of his arms, I don't think that is the most. Because for me personally, it was tough with guys with short arms because long arm guys will give it to you. Short arm guys know they got to wait till you get close and pop, 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 and they do things
Okay.
like that. But like with Josh McDaniels, I think him having Travis Hunter is just if you want to see a offensive coordinator really be a freaking offensive coordinator, give him Travis Hunter. You can sit there
Yeah.
and I would say almost like Worthy. They had packages for Worthy. Like as a rookie, they had him doing all kind of stuff. But he can play either side of the ball. Like okay, we only need you like 12. We got 12 plays for you on offense. You know what I mean? Just like they did Dion. Like when I played with Patrick Peterson, they had certain plays like Pat. Like I want to go on offense. They took Pat. They had certain plays, and you do that just to feed their ego. You don't do that
Yeah.
because you're not playing offense all game and you're not gonna play defense. Just take that out of your head. You're gonna have to choose one, but we'll give you a little here and there. We'll give you a little touches here and there. Give you a reverse. Everybody know you're gonna run a reverse pass, whatever you want to do. But and all in all, you're gonna be a cornerback, buddy.
Amanda, let's talk about some Michigan guys. Mason Graham, the best defensive tackle available in the draft, I think would be a perfect fit in Jacksonville with Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker and all those dogs on that D line. They have a
Absolutely.
chance.
I mean,
Yeah.
their defense allowing almost 6 yards average per play for the season. That's
Yeah.
They need to address that D line. Like that's awful. I mean, top priority for them for sure. They need an outside corner to complement Tyson Campbell. Um, Safety would be useful for them, D linemen, like and any of those positions on defense. I do like my Michigan guy going in the top 10. I think he's fantastic. I think he's going to have a great career. Absolutely the best deal in the draft for sure.
Yeah, he falls to them at 5. Do you like that, John? I mean, that's a guy rumored potentially to the Jets as well. Mason Graham, he's a dominant defensive tackle.
What if, what if I say the stupidest stuff right now? Let's
All
say
right.
he go number 2 to the Browns. Let's say he go number 2 to the Browns just to shake it up because they want to keep that D line happy. Let's just say
Yeah.
they just like, you know what? I think this guy is going to be a perennial thing. We got, oh boy, he wants to leave. We need to make Miles happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miles, we get him. So Miles kind of like, oh, y'all trying to win on my side of the ball. Like, okay, I know they need a quarterback, but like being a defensive end, I always like every year I was hoping like they give me somebody. They give me somebody. Like, come on. It was like every year.
Maybe like a carrot for
Every
Miles
year.
Garrett. Like, hey, buddy.
Every year. And I know that's not feasible, but let's say if they just beat the Browns, because the Browns do weird stuff. So the Browns be like, you know what? They give them a call. Hey, bro, we're gonna draft the D tackle. Can you stay, please,
Yeah.
please, please?
They want him to
And I
stay.
watched it. And Graham is different though. Did you watch his? Oh
Yeah.
my, his pro man. That guy is serious. I didn't know he was that nice. I was like, that guy's nice. I like
He's
him.
he's good. He
Yeah.
was the highlight of my Michigan
Yeah.
season because I mean, oh, and beating Ohio, but
Those two Michigan defensive tackles are nasty. We're going to talk about Kenneth Grant in a little bit too. Absolute dogs. This is my favorite pick in the draft right here.
Can
So
can I
you
interrupt
hire,
real quick before you step away from the Jags? I
yeah,
wanted Justin Fields as the quarterback, or not from the Jags, from the Browns. I wanted Justin Field as the quarterback for the Browns, and I
okay,
wanted to soup up that defense and get back to that dog pound defense.
yeah, that
That
would
was
be
my plan
fun.
for them.
Well, you didn't say that. You didn't say that. You didn't say that. No, I'm joking.
Get
Because I
a draft
don't
a
think they're
running
gonna
back
But
do
too.
that.
I like Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields in Cleveland because Cleveland and Steelers are almost same
Hmm.
type offense. And if you can get Justin Fields just to chill, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I
Hmm.
think he needs to
Relax,
smile
take a
more.
breath.
I think he needs to smile more because it's like every time you see him, it's like it's so serious. Like, bro, you got a chance to be a starting quarterback. Be a starting quarterback, man, and make it
Yeah.
happen, bro. Come on, make it happen.
Yeah, in Cleveland, there isn't a ton of pressure. You can kind of restart
Yeah.
and just get back to playing football. And if you got a great defense, that'll help. Now, if you're gonna hire Pete Carroll and you're gonna start a new regime, I know you don't have a quarterback yet. You hope Shedeur Sanders falls to you at 6. Let's say he doesn't. You could go wide receiver Tedero McMillan here. But me, I'm going to take the third best player overall available in this draft, a monster running back. You got Pete Carroll. You want your Marshawn Lynch? Take Ashton Genty, number 6 overall of the Raiders. I would love that.
Beast
Genty is a
mode
monster.
reincarnated. I like
Yeah.
it.
What do you guys think? We Perfect fit in my opinion. You got to, and this is my vision. My vision is Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold goes to Vegas, and if that's the case, then you bring in Ashton Genty, behind him, and you can play run the rock, and
You don't think Russell Wilson's gonna go hang out with Pete Carroll?
he would love to. I don't know if Pete wants it.
I think Vegas might be the dose of energy that Russell Wilson needs though. Like I feel like he's
Yeah.
just gonna sleep. I don't think Pittsburgh was a good fit for him. They don't have the energy, they don't have the fan support like Seattle did. Like Denver was a bust. I think he needs a city that like gets amped and gets loud. I feel like Vegas would be a good fit for both of them. I do like Ashton Genty there though.
Yeah. I just put him at 6 because he needs to go that high. He's that talented. He might fall a little bit, but he's worthy of going number 6 overall. Honestly, my favorite pick to the Raiders here is Shedeur Sanders. That's what I hope happens. I think that's a perfect fit. What do you think, Abe? I mean, Ashton Genty to the Raiders, do you think he's going to be an absolute star in the NFL?
I think the Raiders it's just so much speculation. I think we just hearing about it so much where we're kind of hypnotized by it. So we can
Oh yeah.
see him in it. We just can see him in it. Like no matter how we think even when the draft is going to be going on, that Raiders, even if you go first or if you go second, third or fourth, if you go early, we still gonna be like, oh, we supposed to go to the Raiders. The
Yeah.
Raiders pick to me is tough. I don't really know what he's coming in looking for. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just like you can have that guy and say, okay, I owe Marshawn Lynch, so I'm gonna get Ashton Gentry because I should have gave, so it can be a great pick like that. But then you got to think about the quarterback. If Tom Brady really is that decisive, is he going to
Yeah.
go get but is he going to be like, I love Deion's son, but I don't want to start my team with him because like it's Vegas now. I think New York is good for him, but I think Vegas is too much lights for him. Like I think it's just like it's certain situations, but I think knowing Tom Brady, they're gonna have him mild, but at the same time, it's freaking Vegas. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So you got to understand when you have players like it's Vegas. Like I'm just being real with it. So that pick for me is kind of iffy. I can't really say exactly what they're going for. Like we're thinking Shedeur because we're hypnotized. We've heard Shedeur since
Yeah, and Tom
like
Brady loves
yeah
him.
Yeah.
yes
But look at all these big names, these very opinionated, very intellectual names that have joined this team. Like we've got John Spytek coming in as GM, Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly, Tom Brady. Like no
Yeah. Good
one has
call on the
any
pick, though.
idea how all of those thoughts are going to get
Yeah.
like the brains have to come together and make a decision together, and they're all so unique in their coaching, their playing styles, their special interest when it comes to football. I am so intrigued to see what happens with this team over the next couple of years because what a combination of NFL minds.
Yeah, absolutely. We all want to see Shedeur. It would just be such good TV. Shedeur Sanders in Vegas, all the lights, Tom Brady, Pete Carroll.
His
It'd be a
dad on
lot
the
of fun.
sidelines, glistening
Yeah.
with his chains.
Yeah. It'd be cool. So we'll see if we get that wish.
I
Another
do have to
pick
say they also need a wide receiver.
yes, they do. And Tedero McMillan could go that high, but he's starting to fall a little bit for whatever
Yeah.
reason. I don't know why. He's a hell of a talent, but we'll see. Um, Tyler Warren, I know you want a quarterback. How about Tyler Warren is a fun prospect. This dude can do it all. He's like a running back. He can throw the ball like a quarterback, like trick plays and stuff. He's a fullback slash tight end. He can break tackles. He's an excellent ball catcher. They put him in that Gronk type tree. Abe, how do you see? Would you like a tight end like Tyler Warren at number 7, or is that too high for a tight end? I'm guessing the middle finger is you're not feeling it.
I'm not saying I know Aaron Glenn. I'm not saying that I know New York, but that is not a name that's going to make the Jets fans happy. And
Yeah.
whoever quarterback going to be, and if they take a tight end when they need a quarterback, think about what you just said, man. They need a
So it's going to be
quarterback.
4 fans at each game.
Do you understand? Do you understand? This is my 25th year anniversary, and they take a tight end and miss out on moving up to get Shedeur or missing out on even let's say if they don't get him, they don't need an edge. They can get a tackle, Will Campbell. Like they have other stuff. So I can't see them making a historic move with a tight end. Like it's different if they had let's say if Aaron would have stayed. Okay. 17 would have stayed. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then get the tight end. Now that would have made sense if Aaron would have stayed. You would have gave him more weapons. But if you got an opportunity to get a weapon, you're not getting no boy from Vegas. You're not getting that tight end. So don't think that. That's not the guy you're getting. You got
This
receivers
guy's really damn good, though.
You're not getting that guy. I'll put money on it. We can pinky promise that when they get this new quarterback, they're gonna feed the running back. They just got to get somebody. They got to get somebody staple that they're gonna be happy with. Whether they go get Darnold, whether they go get somebody else, but I don't think that's the. It just don't look good to me, really. Like, cause
I get that.
I guess y'all didn't really see the draft. Listen, what I'm saying. Hold on, y'all didn't see the draft thing. What the players said about the New York Jets ownership last.
Yeah.
So if they get a tight end for the first pick, and the owners already for the players voted that the owners was an alpha. Dude, you really think they're gonna be happy about getting a tight end? Come on, man. Like some stuff is just not rational.
Before you
This is a
even
business move for Woody. Woody gonna have to come out with somebody that's gonna be blinging, somebody that make the team. It's gonna be have something that to make the Jets fan boo me. I was actually pretty freaking good. I got booed. They're
yeah.
gonna boo the man. Come on now. You get that
Before you
tight
even
end.
brought up the player rating
Hopefully
of
I'll be at the draft, and I'm telling you.
Before you even brought that up, my concept here is they brought in Aaron Rodgers. It was this huge thing, this big public, like, oh, this is, the savior of the Jets team. They brought in Devontae Adams. Failed experiment. Whatever they do is going to have a lot of flash. It's going to be their apology. They're on their PR tour to make it up to Jets fans. They have to do something that will appease the fans after 2 years of bullshit.
Yeah. Well, this is my take is I agree. You guys make excellent points. I'm just saying this dude, it might not be the right fit with the Jets. It might not be the sexy splash move, but this dude is a baller. You talk about Brock Bowers. This dude can do it all wherever he goes.
He's good, but Jets fans need a reason to go to the games. They're not going to go for two good tight ends. You got no
Say it
wide
again.
receivers, no
Say it again.
quarterback.
Say it again.
He,
Bro, you
they
got
might
a
not.
young receiver that's wanting the ball. You got a young receiver that's like really want the ball. 5 want the ball so bad. And you think that if they bring a tight end in, he gonna be looking like so y'all what the so you trying to give more passes to someone else? You bought Devontae over here. You bought like what are y'all trying to do? Like
Oh,
y'all trying to
Garrett.
make me
Yeah,
look bad?
Garrett
Y'all
might
about
not like
like
that.
you gotta understand the people at home you gotta keep happy too now.
Yeah.
You bring a tight end, I don't think that'll make nobody smile. And I'm not knocking this guy as a player. I'm knocking this as a team decision.
Yeah.
This is
I
something that
agree
the
with
ownership
that.
have to sit there. They're not circling no damn tight end right now. I guarantee you, Aaron Glenn. I know Aaron Glenn. He ain't excited about no damn tight end.
I agree with everything you guys are saying. I'm just saying Tyler Warren isn't your typical tight end. He's going to be great
He can
from
be
day
great.
one,
He can be great for New
but
Orleans at number
but
9.
but maybe not the Jets. Yes, I can agree with that. Um, and it depends what they do at quarterback. I mean, do you sign a veteran quarterback? If you got a veteran quarterback in place, maybe you do. But if you don't, you got to make a splash move. I agree with that. Let's jump to number 10, my Chicago Bears. This is an easy pick for me. I would love to take Ashton Genty if he falls to 10, but at this point, the Bears need 3 offensive linemen. And so the Bears can afford to take a Will Campbell here. Even if he is ideally at guard, you can kick him into guard, and he can be an excellent offensive lineman going forward for the Bears. You got to go offensive line. You got to protect Caleb Williams. And Ben Johnson coming from Detroit, where the offensive line was the focus, was everything started in the trenches in Detroit, the offensive line. So he knows he's got to build up the Bears' offensive line. Hopefully Ryan Poles is smart, and Amanda's going to be pretty scared pretty quickly as Ben Johnson builds this Bears team into the monsters of the Midway again.
Adorable. Do you know who needs a tight end who just released their tight end after a really, really poor season? The Bears. So they can take your tight end.
No, we're all right. Cole Kmet's there. The Bears had Gerald Everett. They didn't even know how to use him. They gave him the ball 8 times. Like, get out of here.
I'm just talking shit. I was going to say they just released their tight end. Bring him in.
Yeah.
I think a couple edges go
I would say
Mike Green is getting a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Top
I
end.
would say the perfect fit would be the Panthers for that tight end. Like if you think about it, the rookie quarterback finally got confidence. He's playing well now. I guess he ain't no rookie now, but he's playing well now. Get him a tight end. Get him somebody like you said, an explosive guy. He ain't got to worry about throwing the ball 50 yards down the field to try to do it. You got a tight end, bam, catch it.
Yeah.
I think that would be a perfect thing. I know you want to get the defense, but you can defense. I mean, this year pass rushers are stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might can steal somebody in the second round to come in and
Yeah.
be like
I was gonna
quick.
say
So
I think the Panthers are the best fit for him. I don't think that's their biggest need, but
right,
their need is so stacked. Like edge, I mean, these defensive positions are so stacked in this draft.
Yeah.
Worst scoring defense in the NFL, bottom five in sacks. Like they
Yeah.
absolutely need some pass rushers. But I mean, you can get a good pass rusher second, early
it's
third round.
loaded. It's loaded this year.
Yeah,
Like
it is
if you
stacked. So
they can get two guys in later rounds that probably can end up being good rushers for them
yeah.
for a long time. I'm looking because I was at that draft and I'm like, wow,
There
there.
are a
And I
ton.
think Kyle Kennard will go later to Carolina because he went to University of South Carolina. And I think he's the kind of guy that he's a hard worker. He's right up the street, and that's the kind of guy that you steal. Like you can go later in the round, maybe third, fourth round. Because he ran like a 4.7, but he ain't got to go that far. South
Yeah.
Carolina right there, so you can get him later, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a good defensive end. Like I watched the guy 12 sack, he led the SEC. He's a probable guy that can get later, but I think a tight end to make that quarterback feel more comfortable in the
Yeah,
first
I like
round,
that.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
you
like
know what I'm
that.
saying?
I think
Yeah,
that's a good fit. And I
Yeah.
like it because it leaves Mike Green and Jalen Walker potentially available for the Saints.
Yep.
I mean, they definitely need some help there.
Yep. Let's go pick 12, the Dallas Cowboys. There's going to be a lot of hype about this pick, and in my opinion, you have to go one or two different ways. It's much like the Jets, what you were talking about, Abe. If I'm the Cowboys here, I gotta go splash here. I gotta get some excitement, not only for Dak but for my fan base.
New head
There's a
coach
lot of
too.
huh?
I said, and a
Yeah,
new head
new
coach
coach.
this year who's
Yeah,
going to try
and
to
the
make an
coach was
impression.
yeah, the coach was not a sexy hire. The fans didn't like it. So go get yourself. If Ashton Genty falls here, you absolutely get Ashton Genty at 12 next to
that's what I'm
Dak.
thinking.
Or if Ashton Genty's gone, I like wide receiver Tedero McMillan. You put him opposite CD Lamb. Now you got two big receivers, weapons. So, yeah, either Ashton Genty or Tedero McMillan is where I'd go here.
Yeah, they need someone with hands to make Dak look like he knows how to play football. So
Yeah. um, Abe, your Falcons. How about James Pierce Jr.? We can go different ways here. You talked about the Georgia D end, Michael Williams, Shamar Stewart. We talked about
I am
all
locked
the.
in on Michael Williams. Don't even try to change it.
He's a
Williams to me, that
monster.
get a Georgia guy and let him stay in Georgia.
Now,
I was so high. I was so high on Nolan Smith that y'all don't understand. I was
yeah,
so
and I
high.
love him too.
And
Yeah.
if I was the Cowboys, and I know y'all gonna hate me for saying this, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm getting James Pierce to go with Michael Parsons.
Well,
I'm gonna
they're
get
losing
two.
Demarcus Lawrence.
I'm gonna get two. Yeah, they losing him, so I'm gonna get two like ridiculous edge for. And people don't understand how you think about Dwight Freeney. You think about I can't think of his name right now, but what's his name? Little guy, short guy. Them two guys was coming right, but I personally was stacked that I would have those guys because look like Michael gonna get paid, and you still got this guy for like 3-4
Oh,
years.
Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis.
Yeah, Robert Mathis. Them
Yeah,
guys were, yeah, they were killing it. And I think if you really want to, because I'm not sure how that going to be. Like you said, if you can get Ashton, yes. But if I can't get
yeah,
Ashton, I'm like, you know what? Let's just load the defense up. We don't
yeah,
know. He's kind of acting kind of crazy now. Mike is saying he'll go someplace else if he ain't got a ring by 30. He's talking all this
yeah.
trash. We ain't got, what? We love the guy, but let's get somebody that he can like. Let's see. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, and DeMarvion Overshawn is
Sounds
going to miss
terrible sometimes.
2025 as well. So they could use
Yeah.
another pass rusher in Dallas. That was an option I put. Michael Williams now, any concern? Amanda, Michael Williams, John loves him. When you look at him, he's a stud. He's dominant. You could see him going top 10, but the lack of sack production in college on a loaded Georgia defense, though. Amanda, are you worried about a defensive end that has low sack numbers in college going high in the draft?
not on a good defense.
Yeah.
But
Right.
he
Right.
needs to
Exactly.
look bad enough for Philly to take him because they only take Georgia players. So
Yeah, exactly.
he just
They'll
needs
have
to make it to
plenty.
the end of the first round.
There's so many. They'll have plenty of Georgia
I
options.
know, I know.
The
But
only
no,
thing
I don't.
about go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't hold that against a defensive player in college. I think those numbers tend to get better in the NFL.
Yeah.
Um, most of the good ridiculous sack numbers we've seen, like some of the names for sack leaders of the past couple of years weren't even talked about when they came into the
Yeah.
NFL. I
Yeah.
think that's a skill that develops those solo tackles and sacks. So no, I don't really look at that stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's the
think,
only knock on Michael Williams is what, 5 sacks.
but
But he's a stud.
I like Mike. I like him because I got a chance to talk to him. The
Mm-hmm.
guy is very confident. He's very confident, and it ain't an arrogance. You know, they say that kind of James Pierce has a kind of arrogance,
Okay.
and I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know how well he tested when he talked to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you already heard
Interviews.
about the kind of stuff. And even when I kind of seen him, he wasn't really talking to a lot of the guys because he knew he was gonna run fast. So he was just kind of, yeah, I got this, I got this, I got this. But then, you know, you talk. He talked to everybody. Like anybody come talk, oh, what's up, man? Da, 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 da. Like it was like if you want somebody in your locker room and you got a guy from Georgia, this guy gonna put up numbers. And I'm telling you, like Grady Jarrett are gonna be so happy they can get rid of Judon. You know, so but I'm telling you, like, you put this guy in Georgia and put him around his family, put him around his Georgia dogs, this guy's
Yeah.
going to shine. Because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this guy's going to shine. New defensive coordinator coming in, so I can see him doing that.
Oh yeah. Um, Another pick I love, Amanda. We talked about Kenneth Grant earlier, falling 18 to Seattle, and a perfect fit with Mike McDonald, who coached him at Michigan. And the Seahawks could use some more D line. I think that's a great fit.
Yeah, I think that's a nice little reunion pick. Good
Yeah.
story too for the draft.
Yeah. Um, let's go. Colston Loveland to Denver. I think the Broncos are obsessed with this pick.
You really
Sean
are.
Payton wants this guy so bad for 2 reasons. He wants the next Jimmy Graham type tight end, and he wants to keep Jim Harbaugh from taking Colston Loveland at pick 22. So Sean Payton is playing some 3D chess here, taking tight end.
Yeah, I can see that. Who do
Another
you have
weapon for
going to
Justin Herbert.
who do you have
Go
going to the
ahead.
Chargers?
Chargers wide receiver. They obviously need it. Matthew Golden tore it up 4.2940, much faster than a lot of people thought. His stock is going up. The Chargers will love him at pick 22. Emeka Ibuka to the Steelers at pick 21, but ideally, if Emeka Ibuka falls to the Houston Texans, to reunite him with CJ Stroud would be a great fit.
Okay.
Would
Yeah.
Golden look good in the Steelers?
Yeah, absolutely. Steelers need a receiver. They need
They
someone
have
next to George
a
Pickens.
great receiver already, and Golden would just look so good in those colors.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You
true.
know,
With the
the Golden
yellow,
would look good
golden.
in those colors.
I could see
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
Chargers going for a running back too.
they could. Yeah, and they can get a running back in the second round if they
Yeah.
want as well. Omari and Hampton, Travion Henderson. There's some running back depth is
Yeah.
really
I was gonna
there
say
this year.
I'm not obsessed with any one running back in particular this
Yeah.
year. The past 2 years I've had one top of the board running back that I've been hung up on. This year there's five or six that are equally serviceable.
Omari and Hampton out of North Carolina could get into the first round. His stock is going way up. Amanda, I think you're gonna love this pick. Packers taking corner Jahdae Barron. His NFL comp, Brian Branch. I think you would love that. With
I can
Jair
work with
Alexander
that.
leaving.
Yeah, I mean, Jair Alexander is going to be a $17.5 million hit on the cap space. It looks like they're not able to find a trade partner for him. I feel like they're just going to end up releasing him. It's
Yeah.
just we have two first round picks in our cornerback room between Jair, who's leaving, Eric Stokes, who didn't have a single pass breakup since the
He's
start
been
of 2020.
underwhelming. I don't yeah.
He's been awful. And then we've got two first round picks at defensive end, Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness. Van Ness is growing. I think he's going to be all right. But I mean, there's just a huge void on that defense since Preston and Zadarius left. And absolutely, I like that pick there. We definitely need some help on defense. Stokes is a backup who isn't productive, and Alexander was injured half the season. So preferably someone who can play all 17 games of the season would be great.
All right. This is one of my favorite picks of the draft. I wanted to put him there originally in my 1.0. I put Mike Green here, but Mike Green's stock has gone way up. He's probably going top 10. Detroit Lions. All right. You need a pass rusher. Opposite Aiden Hutchinson, Jack Sawyer from Ohio State. Did we just become best friends? Yup. Step brothers on the two edges, Michigan, Ohio State. And with Chris Spielman being a former Ohio State Buckeye, I just think the writing is on the wall. This is a Dan Campbell type pick. Aiden Hutchinson, Jack Sawyer, I can see it already.
What about the rumors of Myles Garrett going to Detroit? Because I fucking
That-
hate that.
That's an
I
option as well.
absolutely not. No. Dan Campbell does not need Myles Garrett. I don't want to see that. Mm-mm.
The Lions and the Commanders are talking about Myles Garrett, and you guys
The
don't want to
Commanders,
hear this.
no.
The Philadelphia Eagles are trying to get Myles Garrett.
Fuck no.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
There needs
Yeah.
to be like, you know how there's like a cap limit? There needs to be like a big name limit. Like, no,
Talent
you
limit.
have enough,
Talent
you have
limit.
enough talent. Sorry. Get some little guys. No.
And then lastly, I'll give you guys this one, another pick that I love. The Bills, who can't beat the Chiefs. They just saw how the Eagles beat the Chiefs with that pass rush, that D line. You put Harmon, Derek Harmon next to Ed Oliver and just get after Patrick Mahomes. That's how you do it, Buffalo. Build that defensive line if you want to get out of the AFC. What do you think about that, Abe?
You got the Chiefs getting Josh Ornerly.
Josh Connerly tackle, because you got to move Joe Tooney back to guard. You can't have Joe Tooney. You saw those offensive line issues in Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and
But
didn't they not have
you
they
don't
didn't
think
have their O-line set until week 15.
Yep, DJ Humphries is going. Go ahead.
I can see it, but I would want to beef up my defense in my first pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah, but
the edge, like maybe getting the edge, because I mean, I love old boy, but he needs help. Like that defense looked very bland in the Super Bowl. Like
because
very,
they let
I know
L'Jarius
they went
Sneed
they
leave.
went against probably the best O line in the league.
Yeah,
I'm giving you
exactly.
that. But your
Exactly.
defense got to win games too. It's like you got. I understand you want to give Pat help, but hell, when you going to help your defense, like that defense looked terrible. It's
Well,
not
and
excuse.
you said it too. It is a very deep D line, so maybe they get help in the second round.
Yeah.
Right.
I see him going after O-line in the first round and D in the second and third because I mean, how many times was Patrick Mahomes sacked? I don't know the exact number, but it was the most of his career. And I don't know how many different weeks Alex and I were messaging each other like, does Patrick Mahomes suck now? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on? Like, he was
Yeah.
getting beat up and hit constantly. You have to give that man time to do what he's good at, to get those big plays off. He did
Yeah.
not have time. He wasn't staying on his feet in the postseason. You have to address that O-line.
That's the recipe.
Tell Zach Martin to come out of retirement.
Well, they shouldn't have let L'Jarius Sneed go. He carried them on defense through their last Super Bowls, and now he's gone, and you can see it with how that
Yeah.
game played out.
They were so much better when you had Sneed and McDuffie.
Oh,
Now
that
it's
was
just
great.
McDuffie, yeah. So it's gonna be fun. It's very deep. There's a lot of talent. I talked about guys like Jahad Campbell, who we haven't mentioned. He's gonna be a hell of a weapon out of Alabama at linebacker.
Josh Simmons at tackle.
yeah,
I'm excited about
yeah.
him. I think he's going to be
He-
great. He was
coming
one of
off
the
an
players
injury,
for
but
Ohio State that I actually enjoyed watching.
yeah, he might be the best left tackle in the draft when healthy. Do you guys see any quarterbacks? Abe, Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart, anything with the second tier of quarterbacks?
I just feel the whole draft we just did was bullshit because I think this is gonna be the first draft that we're gonna be surprised again. Like the whole draft, like I think it's gonna be picks that we're gonna be like, whoa. Like
This one's hard.
I remember in 2000 when I was drafted 25 years ago. The top 10, you pretty much knew what it was. Like back in the day, you kind of knew what it was. Even if we were to say like he might go here, every now and then you might see one guy shoot up over one guy and it may surprise. But then the draft goes right back to what it is. Most people was taking the best available. They weren't really worrying about the needs as much. They were like, shit, let's get the best available, and it was just always going down. I remember like me getting drafted in the 13th. I thought I was going 16. So it didn't really change the draft. They just went and got somebody to just play the same position and look like me. It was just like it was crazy out there. And now I'm looking at this draft and I'm looking like everyone has needs. When you get under 20, it gets shaky
Yeah.
because you don't know exactly what people are going to do. We love Buffalo, but we don't know what really they're going to do because Von Miller's going to be gone. I
Yeah.
mean, not saying he's going to be gone, but Von Miller ain't the Von Miller, as Amanda says, not the name. So why don't we get another pass rusher? I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. And you can get a pass rusher for 30. I'm going to get me another pass rusher. Because Von is still good, but Von ain't the Von he used to be. Why don't you get
Yeah.
somebody that can train under Von? Or you get somebody that can do, like, watch him or something. It's like the whole draft. We literally can pluck three names in every one thing. Like, oh,
Oh
this
yeah.
guy, this
That's
guy,
the
this.
hard part. Is
And this is the
like they
first
could
time,
go
like, and
here.
look how close the draft is, right? And none
Yeah.
of us can really say, well, who's the first pick. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be late April, and then we're gonna figure, like, they're gonna do some workouts. Okay, this guy's really sticking it out. They already came. They're gonna get this guy. This is the guy. These are the 1 and 2. Shador is on the boat with Tom Brady in Egypt right now. So we got I don't know,
Did
just
you say
dumb. So
Egypt? The fuck?
yeah, it was just a stupid joke. But
They look
I'm
like
like,
pyramids.
yeah. So I'm looking like it's all kind of stuff that we're going to see. Like April is going to be amazing month. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, this is going to be like we're going to start seeing people fall into places. You're going to start seeing these people salivate. You're going to start seeing guys like, okay, all right, now we see where the draft is going. But I remember when I was coming out, like, pretty much what you ran didn't really. Oh, he's gonna be a first round pick. Now he ran a 4.47. Now he's a first round pick. Oh, he's moving up because of this. Like, but people, it went like that. Then we kind of knew what it was. You can go out there and run a 4.2. They still gonna be like, you still suck when you played. Like, it
Yeah.
don't matter. Yeah.
No, that's why we love this time of year, the draft and doing mocks. I mean, Amanda, you can remember 2 years ago, the night before the draft, we were debating who's going first, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. You go back, remember when Aiden Hutchinson went number 2? Everyone thought he was going number 1. He goes number 2. Trayvon Walker goes number 1. It's up until the night before the drafts, you're still making changes to your mock drafts, and it's awesome. So, agree. This is one of the harder drafts to figure out, and it's just a lot of fun to go over and try to guess and try to figure it out. Real quick, Amanda, how surprised were you? Deebo Samuel to the Commanders, and that's a great move for Jaden Daniels. More weapons.
I think it's a great move for him. It's a great fit for the Commanders. I don't know what his old team is doing, but I think we know what his favorite colors are.
Red and yellow.
It's like, red and gold. Yeah, I look good in those colors. We're not going to change it up. I don't want to change my gold chains to silver, so we got to stick in the gold. Like, a little suspicious. Homeboy likes red. That's all I'm going to say.
Abe, are you worried at all about Deebo lack of production last year? Do you think he bounces back in a new place with a young quarterback, a lot of hype?
He's a Carolina guy, so I'm automatically going to be like, I hope he comes back strong. I think getting away from San Francisco, getting away from the nostalgia of being that guy, having to prove yourself again. I think it happens with a lot of guys that people think they're not. But sometimes if you're not happy going to work, bro,
Yeah.
it's not even funny. People don't understand. If you're not happy going to work, you thinking this, you thinking that. But now it's different now. You know what I'm saying? It's different now. He can go to DC, which DC loves new athletes. DC
Yeah.
is, if you ever been, my ex lived in DC. They're gonna have him doing go-go. He gonna be saying y'all and door. His whole voice gonna change. He loves to dress like how he dresses. I don't know what it is, but he like to dress. So he gonna be a fashionable guy. But I think him being able to talk to Santana Moss, who's still affiliated with the Redskins, I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
a good mentor for him. Santana is one of the most. One thing about Santana Moss, he's one of the most intelligent guys. He's one of the most low key guys, but he was a playmaker. So he can he can
Yeah.
he can get in his ear. He can tell him like, this is what you need to do, man. I can see you doing this. And once you get comfortable in DC, because it's a new town, bro. Like, just let it all hang out, man. Like the thing about it, and a lot of times, like, in this part of your career, this might be your last stop. So make sure you enjoy it.
What do you, real quick? We talk about Aaron Glenn and these different guys, Santana Moss. My Bears bring in Antoine Randall L. Do you think that's a good addition to that coaching staff? Abe?
Antoine Randall, yeah,
Yeah.
Antoine's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a very smart guy, versatile. Those are the kind of guys, and he's been doing it for a while. It's crazy because I
Yeah.
didn't even know he was coaching. And then it's
Yeah.
like you start
Even
seeing
Detroit
people,
for
and you start seeing these guys, and they have a certain way to talk to people. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
they have a certain way to talk to people, and you get certain things that I can talk to you different from some other people. You know, some people might, oh, you did it, but I can come and be like, Alex, this and this, and Amanda can talk to you a certain way, this, and this. Like, okay, right now I'm at IPP,
There you
International
go.
Players Pathway. I'm over here at
Hell yeah.
IMG in Braden, in Florida. These guys, like, the first thing they told me when I got here, they John, like, I coached this, but when you came in, these guys start listening to you different. We told you, we told you it was 15 years. We told you you had 133 and a half sacks. When you speak, they listen because they, they,
Nice.
they have they have a lot of respect for you. So that's the same thing you guys say in the league. Even though we don't see the players, and because they're coaches now, we might not see them. But then when you see them on the team, you're like, oh, Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn been a coach for the longest, and now
Yeah.
they saw Detroit. So it takes a little while, but it changes your whole curriculum when you have somebody that can speak your language.
Yeah. 100%. A great take right there. Well, mock draft 2.0 was a lot of fun. Getting the off season going, free agency around the corner, and then the draft. It's going to be great, but good to get AAA back together and talk some football. Let's
Yes,
keep it
sir.
up.
I had to call your punk ass.
Yeah. No, I love it. And look, let's get you back on for 3.0.
No question.
Talk some free agency. Amanda, good shit as always. Uh, I mean, how nervous are you that the Bears are going to take over the North now? I mean, you got to be a little bit scared. You guys finished, what, third in the division last year? Are you guys just going to be in the bottom now for a while?
I mean, everybody else is allowed to rebuild for 30 fucking years. Green Bay's not allowed 2 to 3 years to rebuild. No, okay. The youngest team in the NFL back-to-back years isn't allowed a couple rebuild years.
Nope.
Not a big game. I'm excited to see Detroit sweep Chicago again.
No, Ben Johnson is going to sweep Dan Campbell. The writing is on the wall.
Ben Johnson talked too much shit at that first
He,
interview.
he talks a lot of
He
shit.
has
Yeah.
a target on his back, man.
He said he likes beating Matt LaFleur.
He's like, yeah, it was kind of fun coming to Green Bay and beating them this year. Oh no, that was stupid.
I love it. Let's get the
Green
rivalries
Bay can
back
go 1
on.
and 16, and that one win will be at Chicago. Like, no.
Oh, Lord.
But good shit, guys. Appreciate y'all. And we'll be back. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and peace out.